Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my Friday show, the outlook on the emotional exchanges, and that's for this week, Friday, April 12th, till next Thursday, the 18th. So this is about relationships or about emotional situations, about feelings, about love, possibly, things like that. And I do this for each sign of the zodiac. There's two cards, the emotional challenge or opportunity, and then the action required to get you there, or hopefully. I'm going to start off with a collective reading or affirmation from the Universal Love Oracle deck by Toni Carmine Salernos. And I like to use this because they're very gracious. So I'm just going to pull this and get to that. And our card is physical body. Physical body. It's time to love yourself fully, and that includes your physical body. Your body is your vehicle on the earth plane. Pay attention to what it is saying. Be loving and gentle towards it. Nurture and respect it. And above all, watch your thoughts. The next time you have a negative or critical thought about yourself, stop and change that thought to love. Praise and respect your body and watch the transformation. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Let it flow into every part of you. Relax your body, heart, and mind. Imagine each breath as a soothing, glowing light, healing every part of you. Remember, above all else, it is our negative thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that cause the most harm. Allow only positive thoughts to flourish. As your beliefs and attitudes change, so too will your body. And it's a wonderful card to start because, as I mentioned, this reading is about the emotional exchanges, and for many of us, it may actually involve, love of a physical sort, and love of your body is probably right up there with all of those things that bring you closer to embracing what love and what the world has to offer to you. Enough of body shaming or emphasis on perfection or false attributes like that. Let's all learn how to appreciate all of ourselves, all of our bodies as they are, and learn to respect ourselves and treat ourselves as the beautiful souls we really are. So that's our affirmation for today. And our deck we're going to use for today's readings is the Modern Love Tarot book by Ethony, with the art by Lucy Morningstar. It's really a beautiful deck. I love using it here on this show. So let's pull that out. And as I said, we're going to do each sign of the zodiac. So here we go, starting with Aries. And so, as I mentioned, we're just going to ask each sign what what is the opportunity or challenge? And it's the reverse Six of Pentacles. And so definitely that's a challenge. And I think we have to learn how to understand or try to fix when we have problems of flow. And this could especially be true with flow between our emotionalities. And how are we, giving and receiving from those that we care about. And that maybe for some reason for Aries, there's a challenge with that. So what is the action required? And it's the Ace of Swords. And I think what it's telling Aries is to not be so strident and so goal-oriented that you can't allow the flow between others and yourself work together. That sometimes, whoever we are, whether we're an Aries or not, we want to be so much in control of something that we're keeping others from flowing with it naturally. And so if this is about emotions, it could be saying that maybe we're starting off with being too dominating in a relationship, or maybe if it's a long-term relationship, we're turning towards that. So watch out for that, Aries. And now we will go on to the Taurus, Earth sign. So Taurus, what is your challenge or opportunity? It's the upright Four of Cups. I think this is saying that, you are wading through a time of maybe, in some sense, emotional excess, and you're trying to come to the point where you can really make an informed decision. So maybe this is about a relationship or a situation that brings a lot of joy or contentment to your life, but you want to be able to make this decision without, necessarily being influenced by others or other situations. So what is the action required? It's the reverse Six of Wands. And so the action required may be saying that you have to understand that maybe you don't get noticed for that, or that maybe your key to getting there is by trying not to seek out, the acclaim or the praise that comes with this situation, whatever it is, that really you want to sort of fly under the radar in a way, or what is required is not you wanting to take the credit for everything. And of course, there is some sort of choice or decision to make there. So that is very interesting, Tauruses. So now I'm going to move on to Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. What is the emotional challenge or opportunity? It's a challenge. It's the reverse Three of Pentacles. And this could be saying that there's an emotion, there's a relationship or situation that's bonding or emotional between you and someone or others. And And maybe you have to acquiesce a little bit, Gemini, to not being totally in charge here, or not even necessarily being a driving force here. Maybe you have to acquiesce to the idea that you're part of a machinery. You're not necessarily isolated in this situation. You are actually a part of it. And that, like Aries situation, may go against your Gemini nature, perhaps, to sort of go it alone or not necessarily go to the same beat as everyone else. So what is the actual action required? And it's the Lovers, and it's saying, of course, make good choices. Make choices that are in your own best benefit rather than, something that seems vainglorious. I love that word. This could be saying that this is an equal partnership, and that maybe this comes about better when you are able to understand and view that it's not so much who's in charge, but how things work together. Okay, Gemini, so now we are on to Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. Cancer, what is the opportunity or challenge? It's the Knight of Swords. It's upright. So from that emotional perspective, the Knight of Swords says right now the challenge for you is maybe to advance yourself in a relationship or in a situation involving other people that are, mostly of your friendly sort. It's an emotional nature, but you're sort of trying to take the lead here. You're sort of trying to point things in a direction. So to me, it does sound like it's more of an intrapersonal relationship, but I could also see where maybe it's trying, to lead a community group or lead a church group or something like that. So I could see where your emotions are really charged by this, Cancer, wanting to take people to some other step there. What is the action required? And it's the reversed Two of Wands. So I wonder if it's possible that you have to tell the other people or situations going on here that maybe what they had thought was working out wasn't working out, or maybe they just need to have new plans. Maybe they need to follow you because you have a way of bringing them towards something new. So it does really sound more and more like an intrapersonal relationship, maybe building on, some old relationships breaking apart or situations breaking apart. Wands does have a business sense about it, but this is an emotional thing, so it could just be something that you really are concerned with, really care about. All right, so that was Cancer. And now we will move on to Leo, our next fire sign. Leo, what's the challenge or opportunity for you? And in terms of emotional situations or relationships and that sort of thing, the challenge is realizing maybe that something unexpected opportunity you feel is going to come to you or is coming to you, and that you have to be pretty much ready to take advantage of this. It's unexpected, but it feels good. It feels like it's good luck. So maybe it is the chance of a new relationship, but maybe it's about something that sort of moves you further ahead in any sort of other relationships. I mean, maybe it's just a sense of, some unexpected luck that happens to you. And that sounds, of course, like chance meetings, chance situations. What is the action required for all that? And it's the upright King of Wands. And that's a brave, thrusting, entrepreneurial, kind of spirit. Somebody who really is brave, confident, charismatic. Maybe this is telling you that, if you want to be in charge of these sort of fortuitous situations, you have to also effect that outward demeanor that's required to be bold enough to take advantage of that. And, darn if all of that doesn't sound a lot like an Aries or a Leo. Sorry. I ruined my shot there. A lot like a Leo. Okay, so now we are on to Virgo. Virgo's another earth sign. So what is the opportunity or challenge for our Virgo friends? And it's the reverse Tower. And emotionally speaking, you're always coming back to this self-destructive sabotage kind of thing, maybe in your relationships or in other, situations where you just don't seem to learn what it is you're doing wrong. You are possibly involved in a pattern about either relationships or emotional interactions with friends of some sort. It could be any number of things, but you're failing to understand what you've done wrong or how you can break out of that pattern. So what is the action required for that, Virgos? And it may be that you have to dramatically take charge of things. Here's the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords, it's one of those cards in any degree, lesser or greater, it just doesn't mean anything good. It sort of means like nobody really wins. Somebody's feelings are going to be hurt. Maybe somebody that isn't even necessarily a part of the initial treatment of what's going on. So I don't like that. But maybe if you're trying, Virgo, to get away from these patterns or treat these things differently, you have to have a more kill or be killed attitude. Ew, I don't like that. Virgo. So now from Virgo, I'm going to move on to Libra, our next air sign. And the beginner of the second half of the Zodiac. Libra, what are the emotional-based opportunities or challenges coming to you? It's a challenge. It's the star reversed. Libra, you're sort of losing a sense of your destiny or your ability to see good things and hopeful things in your future, especially romantically. Maybe, Libra, you've been having a hard time with certain kinds of relationships or just with your emotional matters in general. So maybe you are feeling just this really lack of opportunity or lack of something that is a real challenge to you. But what could possibly be the action required then? It's the upright Nine of Cups. And I like the image. It's a person, I guess they're talking on their cell phone while they're in the bath, but they look totally content. And maybe that's the way this is that sometimes, more than anything, although the Nine of Cups can be a wish card, it's about really super indulgence of yourself. And so maybe, Libras, if you don't really super indulge in yourself, you can't really expect others to for some reason. And Libra, you sort of have that kind of shifting, different kind of perspective of emotional matters based on your astrological makeup. So I almost wonder if this is saying, ground yourself in certain kinds of pleasures or indulgences, like the Nine of Cups says. And that maybe this will help you through that morass that you're in. All right, so from Libra, I move to Scorpio. Scorpio is another water sign. Scorpio, what are the opportunities or challenges facing you? And it is the High Priestess reversed. This could be saying that in the ways of emotional matters, your gut feelings aren't really going to be serving you well, and you might have to really experience something physically in a way to understand its importance to you or understand whether it is important to you. And I guess it's especially true emotionally. So Scorpio, I almost feel like maybe there's something really deep going on in your relationship life here. What is the action required then? And it's the reversed King of Pentacles. And, the reversed King of Pentacles can be a poster child for not following through in certain things and sort of getting it wrong and maybe being disorganized or being overly bureaucratic or overly when you delegate something, being overly delegatory rather than being more hands-on. This could be saying that the action you need to counter here is sort of loosening up on yourself in a way, maybe giving yourself some indulgences, as we've been talking about, in order to understand. I don't get it either. That's a Scorpio thing. Okay, let's just move on to Sagittarius, our final fire sign of the zodiac. We're in the final quadrant. Sagittarius, what are your opportunities or challenges? And you have the upright Eight of Wands. You seem to have a challenge and an opportunity to really project your emotional energies or concerns really forward, really fast towards your target. If you are looking at beginning or moving a relationship further ahead. This is a good sign for that, Sagittarius, that all systems seem to indicate you could hit your mark. It almost feels like you don't need the next card, which is about the actions required, but maybe this is a cautionary, who knows? And indeed, in a way, I think it's saying, Queen of Cups reversed, don't get overly imaginative, keep things in perspective, that there still are some things about all of that that could over affect you emotionally. So kind of keep your head. This definitely sounds like, sort of wading into an emotional terrain that you're not used to, perhaps. And because it's going really fast, maybe you don't have time to acclimate to all of that or to understand the nature of your relationship or what's going on. So don't lose your head, Sagittarius. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn, what is the challenge or opportunities in your relationship or in your emotional life? It's the Four of Swords. You have an opportunity or you have a challenge to kind of pull back a little bit or to take rest of some sort. This is a time where you could consider having some sense emotionally of healing yourself, maybe either from situations that have troubled you in various ways. It could be the breakup of another relationship, things like that, but maybe not. It could just be something that bothers you emotionally in a strong enough way that you need to kind of have some distance there. So it does in a way sound like it's a relationship. Maybe it's the breakup of just a long time friendship of some sort or that kind of thing. At any rate, what is the action required now? And the action required now is maybe to understand that Death reversed says this is a time where maybe you have to just sort of sit with some of that sense of what needs to be healed, and that some of that is about really letting some old things die, is what I think that is. And then they rot a little bit, but they eventually recycle. That's the nature of death, and that even when things get a little bit stagnant, it's because there's a process of incorporation that still could be going on. And it's hard to say how long you really need here. I wouldn't really want to worry myself, Capricorn, with any of that. What is mostly important is your challenge right now is to figure out what you need to do some of your emotional healing and to pull back a little bit to do that. All right, so we're now going to move on to Aquarius. And Aquarius is an air sign. And the opportunity or challenge is the Hierophant. And I like that. It's very favorable. I think your opportunity really is to have a sense of control or, it's mostly control over how maybe your emotional life looks outwardly, or maybe it's how it looks to yourself. Maybe it's how you want to see yourself with, your relationships or your emotional life. There's a sense of things being orderly. This could mean that maybe there is a different outward appearance, but for the most part, I think the idea is that you want it to be inwardly orderly as well as portrayal of that. Now, I'm not sure why it's important enough to show up here. It sort of seems odd in the context. Is there something I'm getting? Maybe this could be talking about the fact that, you do have some challenges looking or appearing stable from emotional situations that you want to project that, but that is your challenge. I kind of like that too. So what is the action required? And the action required says to kind of boldly go there, that if maybe some of how you appear to be handling your emotional unease, you need to sort of identify the target and really confront it, really move towards it. And there's help with you, the idea of holding on to the hand, you are either being advanced towards that or someone is helping pull you towards that. So either way, I think that's a pretty good sign. So why not, Aquarius? And now we are on the final, Pisces. So after this, we are through. Pisces is a water sign. What is your opportunity or challenge? And it's the reversed Queen of Wands. And the challenge may be, Pisces, is that lately you have felt you have been holding on to a lot and you've wanted to release it, and maybe you feel questioning about that. Can you be that person? Maybe there's an emotional situation where you sort of feel you're entitled to kind of read the riot act with somebody. Can you do that? Should you do that? So what is the action required? The devil, and the devil wears Prada, at least on this tarot card. So seriously though, from that idea of your action required, this is also too about maybe a suppression of your involvement or your sense of being tactily involved, that maybe you can sort of play this situation as just sort of a game in a way, that there's a sense of you put into it what you want out of it. Therefore, if there's anything about a codependency, well, it's really on you, not on me. I kind of think that way, especially because I think about Pisces in general. So I'm not sure if there's anything else there, but I'll leave it at that. And once again, that's it for the emotional exchanges. I want to thank everybody for coming. Don't forget to watch Happy Hour tomorrow. We're back after a week of being off. We were away. So Happy Hour is tomorrow, Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a live reading with one card per person, positive, uplifting message that we like to give you. Sunday is Banshee's Material Matters. It's also on at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we're only live in the chat room. It is a pre-recorded video, so we're not there doing reading so much. We're doing a reading like this where we go through the Zodiac and run the cards to indicate what we see along the subject line of the material matters. So there are some unboxings coming up. Watch for those. And then we're back Sunday afternoon with our live show, as well as next Thursday's live show. So watch for those. All right. Take care, everybody. See you next week.